Testing, microphone check, Qapla. Qapla YouTube, welcome. It is Monday, January 13th, 2020, and this is Bed Life. And Sassy is also on her bed, but you can't see her. Making Mama Pray, giving Mama Pray a hard time cleaning up the bed. Cleaning up the bed. Anyway, Qapla, everyone, welcome. And I was at Wesley's stream. Wesley, everybody subscribe to Wesley Crusher. Did I keep his window open? Stream ended 4 seconds ago. I think this is his stream. Let's double check. Make sure it is. No, that's Cinnabons. Everybody subscribe to Cinnabon too, but where's Wesley's stream? Son of a bitch. I don't have it. I don't have the URL, but if Wesley Crusher shows up, we will put his URL in. If one of the mods have the URL for Wesley, please put him in to the chat. I was watching Wesley Crusher, and he apparently did his very first stream, just started it about 10 minutes ago, and he just made it to orbit in Kerbal. So there you go. Thank you, Life with Matthew. He just made it to orbit in Kerbal, so congratulations, Wesley. I wish I could have, started a little later, but Mama Pray is going to be making dinner, and I want to eat, and then after that, there certainly would not be time before Anti-Trekker would come on, and I would be long asleep when Anti-Trekker finishes, so yeah. Just the way it worked, but I'm happy, Wesley, that you have made it to your first stream, and I have no doubt I will catch your future streams, hopefully at a little bit better time. Cinnabon Bunny claims first at 5:03 p.m. A minute later, Hector authorizes me to start streaming. Thank you, guys. I was telling him I'm watching Wesley get into orbit. Then I believe Thomas Potts was actually first when I went live. Welcome, Thomas. He says hi. 47 Yorktown says hello, sir. Welcome, 47 Yorktown. Life with Matthew says Qapla, Birdo Prey 5 and all. Qapla, Life with Matthew. And Rock Solid says Birdo Prey, serious question. I have some HTML I need to help coding to create proper tables and format layout. Is this you can help with? Yes, it's something I could probably help with. I will try. If you want to, you've got my email, because I know we've emailed before. So if you want to email me what you have or what you need, I will take a look and do my best. I'm not saying I'm great with HTML. I know enough to get into trouble. Tables are fairly easy, although to be honest, the table syntax of HTML is frowned upon these days by, modern HTML coders. They prefer to do things with divs and list elements, but I still like a good table. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see what you need. I can probably help. Lightwood Matthew says he hears me. Thank you. Sound is good, says 47 Yorktown. And Lightwood Matthew is already shuddering at the horror of HTML tables. Yeah, I knew somebody was not going to like it. But don't worry, we're gonna get your table going real good, Rock Solid. I'm gonna have it blink and everything. And I'm probably only Lightwood Matthew will get why that's funny. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla. Hello and Qapla, not Ryan Johnson. Shronmore says greetings, Brittle Prey, Mamo Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. John DeMarco says greetings. Greetings, John DeMarco, and Lightwood Matthew. Puts in the link to Wesley's stream. Thank you, Lightwood Matthew. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey. So what I'm trying to do is reverse engineer a form integrated into our website. I have the code disseminated, but when I upload it, the existing format seems to be stripped out. Well, probably if it was made in the last 10 years, it probably uses CSS, and that CSS is probably not on. It's probably not in your existing code. So what you want to send me, Rock Solid, is the link to the form that you currently have, how it looks now, and I will go look at it and see what you need to actually keep that form looking like it does. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it's a whole software program, like, we'd probably just be better off recreating it than, because I mean, forms are not hard to do. We'd probably be better off recreating the form from scratch than trying to get it to look exactly like it did on your software or whatever, but we'll see. We'll see what the options are. Yosef says, with me on board. Welcome. Oh, that's right. Yes, Yosef is on board with Wesley Crusher's rocket to orbit. Congratulations, Joseph. Are you the pilot? I think I heard you were going to be the pilot. Sharon Moore says, in greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, a filer of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. And Anti-Trigger says, hey all, welcome Anti-Trigger, Qapla. Camille was here earlier. We were rewatching my my appearance on Rational Roundtable yesterday. She thought it was hilarious. Lightwood Matthews says, rock solid, do you know if the server actually runs or has some special extensions or assets in the root HTML directory? Omega First says Anti-Tracker, which is what, a last first? Whatever, Anti-Tracker. Rock Solid says he has no idea. He has no idea. Shromore says, was binge watching The Witcher. Did I actually stop you from binge watching The Witcher? And Shromore says, Quantum and Atomic first. Carlo Albanese says, hiya, hope everyone is well. Thank you, Carlo. I'm doing pretty good today. Hope you are. Rocksod says he's using divs here, but I'd like to say that the format is getting stripped out, Bird of Prey. Sending email with code now. Yeah, it's probably a CSS that's a cascading style sheet issue, but we'll see. We'll see later. Thomas says, I have no idea what you and Rock Solid are talking about. Yeah, it's web stuff. Lightwood Matthew says, yeah, we're going to get 1990s on this table. And the blink tag, the Comic Sans of the web developers world. Trek 95 says, Qapla Trek 95, and by Comic Sans, it's because I enjoy both Comic Sans, the font, and the blink tag. I don't know why all these people hate these things. They're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. Andreas T says, Guten Tag, Bop, Guten Tag, Andreas. Roxanne says, the form is an iframe. I'm exporting everything out of Dreamweaver for you now. If the form's an iframe, then all you have to do is put the iframe into the new website. I mean, that's terrific if it's an iframe. And you don't have to worry about any of the formatting. It's all within the iframe. Piano Dean, Qapla Piano Dean, says, Bird of Prey, sorry if this is a repeat message. Not sure if it went through the first time. I was away from keyboard, but thanks to subbing to my channel, Bird. No, Piano Dean. Absolutely no problem. In fact, when Camille and I and Mama Prey were rewatching Rational Roundtable earlier, and you came up, I was like, oh right, I have to subscribe to Piano Dean. So that's exactly when I did. I checked out the channel. I gave a like to your welcome introduction video, and I look forward to hearing some of your music in the not too distant future. And Camille was hysterical laughing at Bed Life as a parody of That's Life. Anti-Trigger says, Piano Dean, don't thank him. He will get a big head. Well, a bigger head. Wow. Rockstar says, the problem with people who built our site in Shopify, to be frank, effed it all up and made the site a heaping pile of shite. Well, Shopify probably made it a lot easier to build it than building it from scratch. Alexander Brooks says, hello, birds, guys, and birds. Oh, hello, Alexander. Piano Dean says, haha. Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey, hey, doing a stream while I am not cool, man. I'm sorry, Wes, but I already called 5 o'clock. I told, first it's the normal time. And I had told on Cinnabon's stream that I was streaming in an hour. And then you had started streaming, so I waited another 10 minutes for you to get to orbit. But it's not a problem. Listen, sometimes we have to stream at the same time. Unfortunately, I did not have. If it was a night where Mama Prey wasn't going to make dinner, if it was a night where I had already eaten dinner before I was streaming, I probably would have held off another half hour to give you some more time to play the game. I was watching you. I was interested watching you. The problem is that because Mama Prey is making dinner ready for after I stream tonight, I have to be done streaming by a certain point, and then there would just be no other time I could stream. And if I don't stream, Joseph Petrick gets mad. And if Joseph Petrick gets mad, his wife gets angry. And if his wife gets angry, people die. So you don't want people to die in Slovakia, do you, Wesley? That's why it was necessary for me to stream. Actor says, Joseph, did you take that shower? And Joseph deleted his message. Uh-oh. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, Sassy Prey, and fellow nerds. Wesley Crusher just had his first live stream, Bird. Yes, I advertised it profusely. At the beginning of this stream, I told everybody to subscribe to Wesley. Life with Matthew put in the link to Wesley's channel. I am very happy Wesley has joined the live streaming community. Wesley says, greetings, bird, turds, and Kerbal-Knots. Yosef says, Hector, I smell well. Wow. And Hector says, oh, a French shower. Uh-oh. Lubis Chuddy, Qapla. May the force be with you. May the force be with you. Lubis, am I pronouncing it right? If it's not right, please let me know. Because I have a history of not pronouncing words, names, countries correctly. Lightwood Matthews says, don't forget everyone, hit that like button, make sure you're still subscribed, ring that bell, and wait, doesn't someone else usually say this? Rock solid. But he's too busy talking about HTML. Chrono says, oh crap, I'm late. Qapla, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, Minions O Prey, Sis O Prey, Sassy O Prey, Catcher's Breath, and Alpacas O Prey. What did I miss? Not much. Chronos, it's the very beginning of the stream, just saying hello to everybody. Sis O Prey is not here yet. She's might come in while I'm streaming, probably on her way home from work at some point. Or she might not. We never know. We never know. Rock Solid says, no, Bird of Prey. The existing form is an iframe. We don't have the subscription to a service that they hired for that form. I'm trying to replace the iframe with HTML. So, well, we can talk about it off camera because it's just going to get confusing. Anti-Tracker just donated $1. We don't care about catching up with the chat. We want Dear Bop. Some of the other people might care about catching up with the chat, Anti-Tracker. But thank you. I will take that in mind. Rock Stars is like with Matthew. No one important says that. Because Rock Solid usually says it. Shromore says, Bird of Prey, unless I'm with my wife, I usually stop watching a show. If you or Anti-Tracker, Sci-Fi, DJ, or the other nerds go live, I always want to support my fellow nerds. Well, thank you so much, Shromore. It really means a lot. Wesley says, Sci-Fi, Yosef, Live with Matthew, and Cinnabon. Thanks for joining his stream. And Wesley, even though I didn't say hi, I was there. You know, because I subscribed to you. Once you said, oh, I think you said, somebody subscribed. Who? Wesley? Yosef. I think you said Yosef subscribed or something. I was like, oh, I better subscribe. I looked. I was like, I couldn't believe I wasn't subscribed. But since it was your first stream, I suppose that's why. Kronos says, don't forget to switch to live chat. I'm on live chat. I might have skipped a couple of comments if they didn't look like they had anything to do with me. They're comments between other people. Anti-Trigger says, Shronmore, that's why you're awesome. Vile Mike says, howdy, folks. Welcome, Vile. Life with Matthew is looking forward to Wesley's next stream. Yosef gives Wesley a thumbs up. Sci-Fi Nation says, yes, indeed, Shronmore, you are awesome. Vile says 5 o'clock, but it's only 2:25. Well, Vile, then I'd venture to guess that you live in the Pacific time zone. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I was joking. I know. But other people might not. I still have to explain. And Bird of Prey 5 has just donated $1. I'm stepping down as leader of Kuroga. I realize I'm a bad Frank, and Freddy is a real thing. I, Bird of Prey, admit all of this of my own free will. No. That's not me. I didn't just donate to myself. That sounds like a Turdistani plot. Thomas says, I shall be forever first on Wesley's stream. Congratulations, Thomas. Cinnabon says, Wesley, no problem. The first view is free. Wow. Trek95 says, hello, Shromore. Rock Solid has sent me code. Live with Matthew says, Thomas, I was robbed. It was literally on Skype with him, and I couldn't find the link to his video before you got there. He was robbed. Rock Solid says, live with Matthew. Is he streaming tonight? ? Shromore says, greetings, Trek95. Actor says, I'm storing open an Apple power supply while watching the chat stream, risking limbs. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Hector. Wesley says, Bird of Prey was a test stream. It's all good. Aberjam says, McClunky, Aberjam. Ludo says, Joseph, it's unbelievable how he knows you. Life with Matthew says, Rock Solid, I'm game. What time do you want to start? Vile says, Hector, unplug Apple. Yes, unplug Apple first. Bird of Prey just donated $1. It was me, Bird of Prey. I sometimes take drugs while in the bed, and I mean it. I love calling she-males every day. Doubled the money, keep catching out. $2. Now he just donated $2. Yosef donated $2. Thank you, Yosef. Doubled the money. Keep catching up. Okay, yeah, so I will keep catching up on the chat before going to Dear Bop. Thank you. So that means Anti-Tracker, if you want me to do Dear Bop first, now you have to you have to super chat $5. That's just the way it works. Roxanne says 7:30. He needs to pre-record some stuff. He lost on audio. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Kronos says Wesley just subbed and shut up. Yosef says, Ludos, yes. Did you finally subscribe? Lightwood Matthews says rock solid. Central or Eastern. So I'm guessing Ludos is your friend, Yosef. Did you get Ludos to subscribe to me? If so, thank you very much to both Yosef and Ludos, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Lubo says no one can pronounce my name correctly. Just call me Lubo. Lubo or Lubo? Lubo. I will call you Lubo until corrected. Shrek95 says hashtag Dear Bop. Thomas Potts, we want Dear Bop. Aberjam says Dear Bop. I don't know. A lot of people saying Dear Bop. Rock Solid is selling life with Matthew. He's Central Time. Lubo says Joseph done long time ago. Chrono says I never witnessed the Dear Bop. Is it worth it? I don't think it is, but apparently a lot do. John DeMarco says Dear Bop. Stromo says for the love of the golden alpaca, I've been unsubscribed from another person here. Sorry, Wesley, I didn't realize I'd been unsubscribed. Just resubscribed to you again. I was either unsubscribed or never subscribed to Wesley. If it was Wesley's first time streaming, then I might never have subscribed because, if somebody's not streaming, I mean, I probably didn't subscribe to them. Or, doing any videos at all. Live with Matthews says rock solid works for me. I look forward. It will just be the two of us, or will more be joining in? That sounds like more info than we'd all need to know. Not Ryan Johnson says hashtag Dear Bop. Rock solid says live with Matthew. This is your thing. Oh boy. Wesley says, look everyone, it's my first stream, so thanks everyone for helping me to finally get it going. Very cool. Adega Outlaw says, howdy, Adega, Qapla. Welcome to the stream. I was listening to you and others on, what was it, Sci-Fi Nation stream last night? And Mamo Prey just subscribed to Wesley. You're up to 30 subscribers, Wes, according to Mamo Prey. Wesley says, Thomas... I, Bird of Prey, admit Kuroga is evil, even though it's not a joke, it's really me. Bird of Prey, prove it's really me. My name is Joey O'Bird. I live at 2323 Kuroga Sucks Avenue. Remember to send all your money to Anti-Tracker. I don't think there's... Doesn't sound like me. It doesn't sound like me. I mean, might be my voice, but it doesn't sound like my words. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, Thomas Bot Sci-Fi was so fast they even beat Matthew, who is helping me get it working. Like man says, Rockside crap, I have to work this out. Wait, whose channel are we doing this on? If mine, I need to figure out how to set up StreamYard. It's not difficult. Especially for an experienced computer programmer as yourself. Rockside says, I can host with Live with Matthew, no offense, but potentially larger audience. That's probably true, too. Thomas says, the longer you wait for Dear Bop, the more there will be. BioMike says, congrats, Wesley, on your first stream. Sorry I missed it. I was at work. I subbed to you. Anyway, Aberjam says, anybody want a sausage sandwich? Light with Nice says, rock solid. Harry, facts are facts. I'm fine with that. And fine with anyone who wants to join and jump in. Whatever is most fun. Actor says, fracking apple, haven't you ever heard of screws, latches, son of a bitch? BioMike says, Live Matthew, I'm off work, I will join you too. It looks like I will be working another 3 hours at least. Oh, sorry about it, Vile. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, Mamo Prey just subbed. Yes, she did. Alexander Brooks says, he'll sub too. Wesley is laughing his ass off here, so many trolls. Piano Dean says, Wesley is probably going to overtake me in subscribers totals by the end of the day. I think I'm stalled at 49. Well, I definitely subscribed to you earlier today, Piano Dean. Piano Dean was the guy Anti-Tracker was talking about yesterday. He does apparently great music out of Myrtle Beach. So, yes. He said he'd help do a That's Life parody. Piano Dean, Mom. Yes, Mom will pray. Just Piano Dean. Yes, Piano Dean. One word. If you're on my stream, you can see him. He posted a comment, and you can click the dots to go to his channel. Kronos' Bird of Prey, paying yourself money isn't logical. I agree, it's not. And that's why it wasn't me. Alexander says he's, 31? I don't know what 31 refers to. Anti-Tracker says, yes, it makes no sense. Aberdeen says that did not sound like an honest confession. Bird, say it like you mean it. It wasn't a confession. Vile Mike says Piano Dean just got another sub. He's going to get even more. Oh, now 32, Wesley. Sorry, I thought I was subbed. Yeah, nobody was subbed to Wesley. Nobody got subbed to Wesley until today. Piano Dean thanks Vile. Joseph says Piano Dean, now you're at 52. Alexander is subbed to Piano Dean. 56! Mamo Pray just made it 56. Do I hear 60? Do I hear 60? 57 now! 57 people now. We got to get Piano Dean to 60. 60 before I do Dear Bop. No, I'll do Dear Bop. I'll do Dear Bop. But let's keep it running for both Piano Dean and for Wesley. Anti-Trigger says, Piano Dean, with your skills, I bet you could seriously start recording music and you'd blow us all away. Well, yeah, but the thing is, if you're too good at music, then you've got to get the rights to do it. Because if you sound too much like the real music, they will copyright you. Vile Mike says, I would love Mama Pray sub to me too, but if she is not. I'm pretty sure he said if he has no way of knowing. She thinks she is subscribed to you, Vile Mike, but she will double check. She's double checking now. Track 95 asks Abajam where's his. Sci-Fi Ninja Bird of Prey, we need to see what that anonymous tracker guy wants. Yeah, I'm gonna look. Yeah, and Mama Pray is subscribed to Vile Mike. And he's got 106, according to Mama Pray. Dega Outlaw has subbed to both. Very cool. Piano Dunes is anti-tracker. I've been putting off so long, it's really something I should start pushing. Dega says hi to Sci-Fi. What?
Ask everybody there if I'm not subbed to them.
If Mama Pray is not subbed to you already, if you want her to sub to you, now's the time to shout it out. She's got a few minutes in front of the keyboard and she can sub to you. Wesley is 60. You're 60, Wes? You already got to 60? Imagine. Dig Outlaw says hi to Sci-Fi. Truck 95 says sponsored by Beagle Bites. No, it's not sponsored by Beagle Bites. Kronos says Bird of Prey, you would make a good auctioneer. I could be a good auctioneer. Anti-Trigger says not if he starts doing original songs. Oh, that's true. Piano Dean says yes, goodbye, Yellow Brick Road cover, got a copyright claim right away. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, but that only means that you're good, huh?
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
Bird of Prey 5 just donated $1. This is my confession. Bird of Prey and pure evil. Run Kuroga into the ground. I am guilty of eating the entrails of orphans with lots of barbecue sauce and salt mines to go orphans. Hey, Mama Pray. And I lost it. I gotta bring it up. I've got to bring it up in the control panel. Log in with YouTube. This is gonna delay Dear Bops. But thank you. I'm not going to say stop sending me money. So supposedly Bird of Prey donated. And I am highly suspicious that I donated to myself. This is my confession. I, Bird of Prey, am pure evil and have run Kuroga into the ground. I'm guilty of eating the entrails of orphans with lots of barbecue sauce and salt. I could go for some orphans right now. Hey, Pavo Prey, cook me some orphan meat.
Who said it?
Apparently I said it. It came in as a donation from Birdo Prey 5. $1. Anti-tracker? Pavo Prey says that's anti-tracker's writing. It's probably true. That's probably true. Vile Mike says thank you, Mama Prey. Aberjam says he wondered if Piano Dean could blow away a Kurogan dictator. Thomas Potts says, Dear Bop, we aren't getting any younger, especially anti-tracker. That's true. That's true. Sci-Fi Nation says greetings to Odega Outlaw. Life with Matthew says hey. Where are we? Where are we? Give me 1 second. I need to check something. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, Wesley says he's Piano Dean's number 60. Not that he's 60. That makes sense. Chronos says, Bird of Prey, instead of asking for a sub from Mamo Prey, can I instead get a tail? Chronos, do you have a Mamo Prey tail? Okay. Mamo Prey says, after I do some Dear Bops, she'll do a tail. She has a tail. Wesley's at 29 or so subs, 30 when Mamo Prey at the last look. Roxanne says, well, I have so many subs to go around. I have unsubscribed to Anti-Track and Vile Mike so I can subscribe to Piano Dean and Wesley. Wow, okay. Limited subs. I think that YouTube should do it. They should say that you get 100 subs free, and then for every subscriber you subscribe to after 100, it's $1. Just to make sure you're serious. You're not giving away subscriptions willy-nilly. I wonder what that would do to the YouTube ecosystem. And then they split that $1 with you, 50-50. That would work. Aberjam says, I'm getting younger. My real name is Benjamin Button. I doubt it. Anti-Tracker's calling Rock Solid a jerk. Rock Solid says, Anti-Tracker, but I am consistent. Vile Mike says, Rock Solid, fine. Unsubbing from you, even if I have plenty of subs to give. Oh boy, it's a big unsubbing war. Rock Solid says, Vile Mike, they don't have to worry about how terrible BOTW is. Piano Deem says, Aberjam's Trekker song was really cool. Yes. Give a coin to your Trekker. Throw a coin to your Trekker. I mean, I'm not going to, but you guys can. I mean, he did get a little insulting to Kuroga, but it was still a very good song. Roxanne says, who wants to... Nobody wants to do that. Vile Mike says, Rock Solid, says the clone lover. Andrew Piano Dean, yes it was. I have to say I'm shocked I did not get a copyright strike, but I guess the app he used makes it royalty free. Rock Solid says, Vile Mike, send in the clones. Chrono says yay to the Mamo Prey tale. Vile Mike says, Rock Solid, attack of the clones. Aberjam says, Bird is playing on purpose now. No, okay, we're gonna do Dear Bop. Piano Deem says, Bird of Prey, I think That's Life parody is gonna be a big Bed Life, has #1 written all over it. Bed Life, I've been up and down and reclined and tilted and turned over on my side and over and out, and when it's done, I don't know. I just want to go back to sleep. That's Bed Life. But it's in your capable hands, Piano Dean. Wesley says, Cinnabon says, if Wesley beats me to 60 subs, I'm unsubbing to... Oh, Cinnabon, a minute ago, Mama Bray could have subbed to you if she hadn't already. She might have, but she just went outside. Dragon 5 says, Aberjam Bird of Prey is no later. Getting a jerk from Anti-Trekker is a badge of honor, points out Yosef. Darth Sweeney says, Bird of Prey 5, greetings, Darth Sweeney. Qapla, good to see you here. Wesley says, more Dear. Okay, we didn't even start Dear Bop. Roxanne says, BOTW equals Breath of the Wind. Wesley's at 35 subs. Piano Dean is laughing. Roxanne says, Attack of the Clones equals BDSM Padme. And Biomike says, Bird of Prey, Legends of Zelda, Breath of the Wind. Okay, I had no idea. But anyway, we've got 32 people here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. And now, by popular demand, apparently, we're going to do some Dear Bops. Now, for those who don't know what Dear Bop is, if you go to birdoprey5.com, there's a section on birdoprey5.com where you put in, you can click Dear Bop. Now, Dear Bop is kind of like Dear Abby was, for those who know what that was. I give out free advice. Okay? Completely free. It's completely anonymous. The website, it doesn't track your IP address. I get it as an anonymous email in my email box. Unless you do something stupid like send an actual email from your email program, I have no idea who it is. If you just use the box that's on the webpage, if you go to birdoprey5.com and click on the link for Dear Bop, you can put in a request. I get it, and then usually twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, I try to do Dear Bop. Sometimes I'll do a standalone video, and it's another part during the week. But that's where we are. So if you ever need advice or help, I do my best to help you. Now, I am a certified life expert by the Karoga Department of Expert Certifications. So I have a license to practice law and medicine only within Karoga. So technically, legally, I have to state that if you're not living within the Karogan domain, which you're probably not, because Karoga doesn't have YouTube, unfortunately. So I'm broadcasting out of a VPN. It makes it look like I'm in New York. But yes, if you're not technically inside Karoga, then technically, I'm not technically allowed to practice law, medicine, engineering, all those things. But in Karoga, it's gospel. It's gospel. So take it as you will. In the nation of Karoga, yes. Certified life expert, though, that transcends all borders and logic. Okay, so if you go to Dear Bop, also from this point on, if you need me to read your comment, please put at birdoprey5, because it's just going to get too far behind to read all the comments. Kronos says, looks like Dear Bop is a popular event. You're up to 33. Yes. Darth Sweeney says, Bird of Prey, I saw on Twitter you are a software developer. I used to be a software developer too. K&R, Censure Team developer, Evil 4GI. Darth Sweeney, I did software development many, many, many years ago. I don't know what 4GI means, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what K&R means. It was one of the things I did. I did develop software as part of jobs I had. Technically, I went to school for electrical engineering. I spent 10 years of my life in the workforce, and then I got super sick, ended up in the hospital bed, and another 10 years has since passed. And now I'm on YouTube doing bed life. In the 10 years, the first couple of years after I got home from the hospital, I was doing some software development, part-time stuff. I'd learned C, C++, PHP, and I had Java, JavaScript, but mostly Java. But I really never got too far beyond any of those. Back in the days, when I was when I was in college, I put out a few apps back in the days, minor apps. I mean, you can't even find them anymore, unfortunately. But that was it. I'm not a serious, like, I'm not making Microsoft Word or even for that point, Open Office. I'm not working on projects like that. When I do software development, it's like an add-on for a forum software to, have a log of all the attachments that get downloaded, or or a game add-on, things like that. So I'm not super into it. Darth Sweeney says, I had to quit software dev because of health too. Well, it seems like you were more into it. Oh, epilepsy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My cousin has to deal with epilepsy. It's not fun. But I hope you are doing good today, Darth Sweeney. And you're definitely more into software development than I, since I couldn't understand most of what you were typing. Kronos' birds, Kuroga still uses BBS's. I wish. Okay, they're saying I'm stalling. We're saying I'm stalling. So anyway, for those who don't know, I can only read the Dear Bops that have come to me. Some of them are more interesting than others. So, if some of them aren't as interesting, it's kind of out of my hands. Oh, I've got the web browser up to the wrong thing, but we will see. Here we go. We've got, okay, so we see now we got Surf Trektronics. I can already see emailed me directly at dearbop@birdoprey5.com rather than using the anonymous form. So Surf Trektronics, if you meant that to be anonymous, let me know before I get to it, and I will try to delete it before anybody can see it. Without opening it, I will delete it. Darth Sweeney was a project management for business and mortgage processing systems. Ah, very cool. Rock Solid says, bottom like Bird of Prey, your father's brothers, cousins, uncle's former roommate. Yes. Okay, here it is. Dear Bop. The first Dear Bop of the day is, Dear Bop, I have a bat poop crazy friend who thinks that sword fighting is more about skill than strength. This idiot does not consider the difference between sword fighting and fencing. He does not realize that fencing uses lightweight sabers, but real swords are very heavy, and you must have a lot of upper body strength to use a sword. How do I teach this stupid, stinking, bedridden idiot the truth? He also denies Frank and Freddy your super ego. And thank you, Surf Trektronics. I will read it. Okay. And Haberjam says, see, that's the kind of backlog you get when you don't read Dear Bop regularly. This is our biggest backup yet. As for my so-called super ego, while I acknowledge strength plays more of a role in sword fighting than it would in actual fencing, I do maintain that sword fighting is still probably, I'd say it's safe to say, more about skill than strength. Okay? Because you're saying sword fighting is mostly about strength, then the strongest person will always win a sword fight. And that doesn't make sense to me. You're going to tell me that the world's best sword fighter, who has trained and done sword fighting for, I don't know, say a decade or 2 decades, that he goes up against like 1985 Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is, let's say he's never picked up a sword in his life, that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to beat the guy who's been training doing sword fighting for 20 years because he's not as strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger? No, that makes no sense to me, and I don't think anybody honestly believes that to be true. Okay? I granted their TV shows and movies, but even history, the knights of old, They weren't the biggest, strongest people. They had to be trained. They were sword fighting. You have to train. Yes, I'm sure that if you can't lift the sword, you're going to lose. But assuming you can lift the sword, you then need the skill to use it. And I feel like I'm very safe in saying that it is not just the strongest person who wins. It's the person with the best techniques. I don't think I have to explain any further. I think that's good. I don't understand how my super ego emailed me. Dear Bop, don't listen to your super ego. Listen to me, your subconscious. Oh, and yes, you're still stinky. You need to clean your Geloja machine. The Geloja machine gets cleaned twice a day, which is plenty. Unfortunately, I can't clean it myself. It's one of Mama Prey's many thankless jobs. Dear Bop, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm not that. So this Dear Bop says that whoever sent this is gay. But then they sign it my super ego, and that's just not true. See, it's not a request for help or any type of advice. And now they're signing my own name. I did not send this. I'm still not gay. Anyway, it says, what do I do? No one believes that I'm gay because of my rugged good looks and my musky smell. Well, obviously, that's not me because I don't think anyone says I have rugged good looks or a musky smell. So sorry, not a request for support or help or advice. Dear Bop, Bob here. Our cute Mexican neighbor likes girls, but owes money to some people. Greg likes him as well. Looks like we're going to have a good time once we propose the threesome to the cutie. Wow. Any ideas on what to say so that we don't scare him? So Bob and Greg are our resident gay couple that asks for help from time to time. I try my best to help them out since I don't judge, but in this situation, I'd have to say you don't want to scare him. If he's going to accept, then I would say he's probably more curious. I don't think you have to worry about scaring him. If he truly wasn't into it, he wouldn't accept, even if it was the only way for him to get the money. So the fact that he accepted your offer, just go with it. He wants to be it. He wants to do it. He probably purposely told you that he needed the money just so he didn't seem like he was too desperate. But just don't worry about it. Just treat him like you would any other person of your persuasion. He'll be fine, I'm guessing. Dear Bop, how many coconuts were in the bunch, and why wasn't it a bunch of bananas? Well, I can tell you it wasn't a bunch of bananas because Sis O'Prey hates bananas. So, no bananas allowed while Sis O'Prey is hanging out here. As for how many coconuts were in the bunch, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I really don't. Carlo Albanese's Bird of Prey, if your opponents are stronger, you'd need training to know how to deflect a powerful strike using your body motion. Skill can overcome power, but power and skill is another story. I agree. If you have the power and the skill, you're going to win. But if you only have power versus someone only with skill, it depends on how much, right? I mean, if they don't have enough power to raise the sword, then obviously they're going to lose. But if you've got enough power to raise the sword and move it where you need it to move, then I say you're going to win over somebody who has double your power but zero skill. as long as you both meet some minimum amount. I don't know what you're talking about, coconut patches. I'm sorry, but that's not a request. Dear Bop, are aliens among us? Sincerely concerned in Columbus, Ohio. Well, concerned in Columbus, Ohio, I can definitively tell you this. Yes, aliens are among us. No, it's not like the Men in Black movies. It's not that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of aliens running around the planet pretending to be human or looking like humans. And there's not some secret agency in the base of the whatever, the Brooklyn Tunnel, Battery Tunnel, or wherever the hell they go. That's not how it is. But yes, aliens have made contact with the government. Aliens have worked with our government. There's been exchanges, and I would say it's an exchange in technology, but basically we got technology for giving them unfettered access to certain populations of people and animals. It's real. It's been going on, and it's not going to stop. It's not likely to stop. Should you be concerned? Probably not. 99% of people will live their entire life and will never be bothered by what's going on with the aliens. One day it will be too late, but I don't think it's likely to happen in our lifetime. So I wouldn't be concerned, but yes, the aliens are here. Now the aliens can't come forward for multiple reasons, not the least of which is, should the aliens come forward, a lot of human development would just stop. People would say, well, why the hell should we, keep working to cure a disease or keep working to save the environment or keep working to do this when the aliens have this technology and they should just give it to us? And yeah, so it's our own fault. It is our own fault in that we're not being told about them. Because we couldn't take it. We couldn't take it as a society. We would fall apart. Not necessarily that we'd be going crazy and rioting at the stores immediately. I mean, everybody's, they're going to tell it's aliens and riots are going to break out in the cities and churches are going to fall. No, that's not going to happen immediately. But it is going to happen over maybe 6 months, a year, as smart people and productive people stop producing. Because why should I? This is all, they're going to take care of us anyway. They're going to give us, they already have the cure for cancer. Why should we be wasting our money curing cancer? Why should we be wasting my time curing cancer? They've got the cure. We just get it from them. Abajim says, Bird of Prey, the swordsman isn't going to reach you anyway if he's a Kurogan midget. Wow. That's for Mama Prey. Yes. But that's the view on aliens being among us. Evil dictator of Kuroga. They didn't even write Dear Bop. They erased Dear Bop and replaced it with evil dictator of Kuroga. Since you deny the spy is yours, and he has not revealed any useful information to us, we are returning him to you. He won't shut up. He just keeps talking about sciencey things. Please take him back. We're sick of it. Sincerely, the Turkestan government. You see, the Kurogan policy of never acknowledging that a spy is ours worked out. Welcome home, Wesley Crusher, if that is indeed your real name. Another great victory over Turkestan. Now he might have been attacked, he might have been humiliated, he might have been tortured, but he's coming home. Okay. Dear Bop, this is a notification from your local neighborhood watch. It has come to our attention that an unsavory character has been moving in your area. Please be on the lookout for a rough-looking bald man with various scars. His main mode of transport is a turbocharged mechanical wheelchair with spiked hubcaps and a chain of human ears hanging on the back of his seat. It's reported that he scours the neighborhood looking for unsupervised orphans to kidnap and has a tendency to refer to everyone he meets as a son of a bitch. This man is armed with a very powerful suction pump that he calls his Jaloja machine. If you see this man or even hear an ominous sounding suction sound nearby, do not approach. This man is cranky and extremely dangerous. Please report any sightings to our local office, and above all, stay safe. The last thing we want is for our constituents to end up in a mine, down a mine. Kindest regards, Franklin and Frederick Bengay, NHW Bayside District. Wow. So my neighborhood watch, who apparently is run by Franklin and Frederick Bengay, is claiming that there is somebody with a turbocharged mechanical wheelchair with spikes on the hubs headed around, and they're abducting orphans, not kids, but orphans who must be, I guess, on the street alone. So that is some scary stuff. And he has a Jaloja machine. So, yeah, okay, well, thank you for the warning, Franklin and Frederick. I will be on the lookout for any such character. You try to help people. You try to help people, and this is what you get. Dear Bop, my boss is a liar and a racist and a disgusting human being. My boss is also a clueless idiot and a self-obsessed egomaniac. And the only thing my boss is good at is losing money. I despise my boss, but I quite enjoy my work. I'm not sure whether to stay at the company or leave. What do you recommend? Well, this isn't signed, but I have the feeling that this was supposed to be signed by Mike Pence. And Mike Pence, I would suggest you stay at your job because you have reached the top of your political career. You are going no further. So enjoy the next 4 years, Mike. Make the best of it. You're never going beyond that. Not that I'm saying I agree with everything that was said there, but I'm pretty sure whoever wrote that just forgot to write Mike Pence. Or, Mike Pence didn't want to use his real name. Dear Bop, I have a friend who has real issues. He interrupts when I live stream, he cheats in every game he plays, and he never bathes. Oh, and did I mention he's an evil dictator? And worst of all, he denies Frank and Freddy. What do I do about this loser? I think of just poisoning him. Is this too harsh? You're super ego. Son of a bitch, it is I bet that was Anti-Tracker, and he did poison me a few days ago. That's why he wanted me to read this. This is you, I know it's you, Anti-Tracker. And Mama Pray takes exception to you think I don't bathe. Just because I don't go in a bathtub doesn't mean I don't bathe. I know Anti-Tracker likes to go get in his bubble bath. My anonymous source inside Anti-Tracker's household has confirmed that him and Auntie go into the bubble bath at least twice a day. And he makes poor Mrs. Anti-Tracker splash around to create bubbles, and she's got to get a big straw and blow into it so it feels like a jacuzzi to him. and it makes bubbles all around, and it makes the bubble bath bubbles come up, and him and Auntie they just lay back, and he has this plastic boat that he swishes it around the bathtub, and he says, "Now I'm the captain," and Auntie is the first officer, and he sings the Gilligan's Island theme song. That he does that at least twice a day. That's how he keeps his hair looking so shiny and long. That's his true hair tips. So, yeah, anti-trigger. Just because I don't do a bubble bath twice a day with my dog doesn't mean I don't bathe. Yeah. Average Jim says, use a stronger poison, anti-tracker. Vile Mike says, hey, bird of prey, don't knock the bubble bath. I love a good bubble bath. Did I tell you guys the story? I must have, but it's worth repeating. So, back when I was traveling for work, I used to always stay at a Residence Inn in La Jolla. And for whatever reason, I decided, maybe there's a better hotel than the Residence Inn La Jolla. So I tried a Courtyard Inn by Marriott in Del Mar, which was a lot closer to Rancho Santa Fe where I needed to go. So I went to this Courtyard by Marriott. The room was smaller, unlike the Residence Inn, which was big, spread out campus. This was just like one building, like a hotel building. All the rooms are connected, fine, whatever. But I had a jacuzzi in my hotel room. Well, the first thing you have to know about hotel jacuzzis is you never want to go in the jacuzzi without rinsing the water out a couple of times at least, because God knows what was left in there from the last person. So you let the water run, you turn it on, it comes through, you turn it off, you let it drain, you do that one more time, and then the third time you can go in the hotel jacuzzi. So the thing about it was the on-off switch for the jacuzzi was too far away from the you couldn't reach the on-off switch for the jacuzzi from inside the tub. Which, okay, it didn't really matter until I got in the jacuzzi. So the third time I got in the jacuzzi, and I was looking at the little, soaps they have there, and one of them said bubble bath. So I was like, what else? I'll try a bubble bath. I mean, I'm alone. Nobody's ever going to see this. So I put the bubble bath in the jacuzzi, and, I was laying back, and the bubbles were getting bigger and bigger and higher, and eventually they were just coming out. They were flowing out of the tub. They started going everywhere. I was like, oh shit, I've got to turn off the jacuzzi part. But, I was a big guy. I'm 6'4". I was, probably 300 pounds at the time. And so I got out of the jacuzzi, and because I'd been sitting in the jacuzzi a while, the water level had gone down because it all went down the overflow drain. So as I stood up, the water level dropped below the output, but above the intake vents of the jacuzzi. So as soon as I sat up, 3 or 4 water jets started shooting out of the tub across the top of the tub, past the area, because this tub was just in the main area of the hotel room and was basically almost soaking the bed. It was making this arch that must have went 6 or 8 feet out of the tub. So then I'm scrambling to get to the off switch because I was stuck. There was no way to shut off the jacuzzi without getting out of the tub. I didn't want to kill myself because I was covered in soapy bubbles, and, I was alone, and God forbid that I didn't want somebody to find, me dead, covered in soap bubbles. So the whole room got covered in soap. It was very messy. I mean, it was clean mess, but it was messy. I shut it off. Fine, whatever. I rinsed off, took a shower, went to bed. I'm asleep maybe an hour. The fire alarm goes off. I'm like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. And it's going. So I go out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I go down to the front desk. They're like, yeah, it's a false alarm. Sorry about that. Okay. I mean, I was going to say, well, why is it false alarm? I didn't. I just go back to sleep. Another hour later, the alarm's going off again. And I'm like, I go out again because it says procedure and alarm that if it's a whatever, that they wait for the announcement on the PA system. If you don't hear an announcement on the PA system within X minutes, then proceed out if it appears safe. Okay, it appeared safe. I went and they're like, yeah. They're like, we have this problem when it rains outside that the fire alarms go off a lot. And I'm looking at them, and it's like the middle of the night. I'm like, what are you talking about? When it rains outside, the fire alarm goes off. Like, well, it doesn't rain here a lot. It's San Diego, so it's usually not a problem. One more time, I tried to go back to bed, and like 30 minutes later, the fire alarm went off again. I was like, son of a bitch! I go down to the front desk with my stuff. I was like, listen, I tried this hotel. I really did. But I need to sleep. I need to get to work in the morning. I can't be waking up every 30 minutes because of fucking fire alarm because you guys decided it's not that big of a deal because it doesn't rain that much. So I need to leave this hotel. And I'm sorry, but I figured I would get like half my money back because I'd actually paid for like 2 nights. And they were actually very apologetic and they refunded me the entire amount. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I went down to the Residence Inn, 10 miles further down the road, but the one I always knew. And I slept the rest of the night. I was fine. And, my weekend continued as I would have expected it to. But I felt so bad for that hotel because I made such a mess in that room. Granted, it was soap and water. But I felt like such a mess, and they didn't even get $1 from me in the end. I actually felt bad for them. I felt bad. It must have been hilarious to see if anybody could have been watching, but unfortunately it was only me. Vile Mike says, yeah, I'm actually amazed by how little water it actually takes to fill my bath when I'm in it. Yeah, very tired of stalling. Oh my God. Somebody changed their name to Very Tired of Stalling. Bird of Prey is the Dear Bop or story time. Yes, and Rock Solid's telling people remember to smash that like button. Very Tired of Stalling hangs himself. Vile Mike, right, okay, don't knock the bubble bath. That's my bubble bath story. Okay, we're keeping going. The number's going up faster than it's going down, but it doesn't mean we won't get to the end. Dear Bop, I forgot to tell you that your tab is up to $234,542.23. If you do not pay your tab soon, you will no longer receive calls from us. The She-Mail Club. Good. I don't want to receive calls from you. I've told you I want to unsubscribe. Please don't call. I have nothing to say to the She-Mail Club. Thank you. Huh? And I'm not paying. Dear Bop, I am blind and I love butts. So could you please describe your butt to me in vivid detail? Signed, a hot blind chick. Oh, well, if it's a hot blind chick, sure. Why not? It's quite white, quite pale, I'd imagine, since it hasn't seen sun in 35 years, probably. So figure like the whitest, palest skin you could imagine. Covered in hair. As hairy as Lore's chest. It's at least as hairy. And then, right at the top of the butt crack, it's a really deep indentation where a stage 4 bed sore was, that at one time you could see my tailbone and you could stick 2 fists in. Now it's since covered up with skin, not perfectly, but a hell of a lot better than it was. It still bleeds from time to time. So I will never be an underwear model. Even if I was able to walk today, unfortunately, there's like noticeably missing skin, right above the sacrum, as they call it. Yeah, it's not the best looking. Thomas Potts texted me, "I'm eating, you son of a bitch." Well, hey, it's what Dear Bop, they asked. I have to. Listen, this is a hot blind chick. I hope I'm making her day. Wesley says, "Oh dear God, why? Please stop unsubbing." Aberdeen's bird of prey couldn't get 2 fists and confirmed. No, not in the butt. In the hole that came from the wound that came from the bed sore. Vile Mike's bird of prey. That is San Diego hospitality. Make a mess, we still refund you everything. Well, to be fair, they had no idea about the mess. And Roxas' bird of prey, you could have left a tip for the room. I think I did. I usually left tips. When growing up, I'll be honest, I don't ever remember leaving tips for hotel maids. I didn't realize that was a thing you did until I started working. And I was like, okay. But plus work paid for the tip. You could expense the tips anyway. So I was tried to be very, I wasn't super. I was like usually $5 a night is what I would tip. Sci by Nation's bird of prey trashes his room, still gets a big refund. Star Trek says, how does she know if she's hot if blind? Well, obviously other people around her would tell her if she was hot or not, I'd imagine. Average says, we're all going to need a hospital bed after that. Wow, well, that seems cruel. Weird. Okay, Dear Bop, what will you do when you rule the world? Sincerely Curious in Columbus, Ohio. You know what? I've often thought of that, Curious. Here's the thing. There is just so much I need to change. I'm guessing that I would have to start on a cloning program. Because I want full control over everything. It's the only way to make sure everything's done right. Just television commercials. I need to approve every commercial. Okay? And if you put up like a crappy television commercial, like a commercial that would make people even get sick or stop watching, or is too sad, right? If you put up a commercial because of those animals that are being mistreated, fuck you. No, your commercial's not going on TV. If you put up a sad commercial about sick kids in the hospital, no, your commercial's not going on TV. Don't get me wrong. I have all the respect and empathy for sick people in hospitals, especially kids. But if I'm watching TV, I don't want to feel bad. I'm not watching television to make me cry over a kid or an abused animal or somebody who's sick or drugs that could get. No, I want to approve all the TV commercials. Okay, and I'd have to teach other people to do it. And frankly, I don't trust anyone enough to do it, so I'd have to do it. But I'd also have to overlook everything, like every prison I'd have to be warden of, because there's way too much crap going on in prisons. Prisons need extreme overhaul. Schools, I'd need to be principal of every school, so I need to overlook that. Police forces, I'd have to be the police chief in charge of every police precinct, every sheriff office, everything there. hospitals. I'd have to be in charge of every hospital. So there's just like, we need millions and millions of me's to make sure everything is being done correctly. So first we'd have to start a cloning program. And once I'm satisfied with that, then I guess I could move into forcing everything else. Anti-Trigger says, confirmed, Bird of Prey hates kids and animals. You know, I'm going to be honest, I hate those kids in the Cars for Kids commercial. At first, I was just like angry at them. Now, I'm pretty sure I hate them. I hate them all. Darth Sweeney says, Bird of Prey, don't watch TV. DS9 is on Netflix. Yes, it is. And that's what keeps me sane, Darth Sweeney. Believe me. I have Netflix. I watch DS9 on Netflix. We watch an episode of DS9 on Netflix every week on Wednesday at this time. I always do Deep Space Nine Wednesdays. We watch an episode. We're up to season 2, episode 16. Next, we're going to go through the whole series, one Wednesday at a time. Occasionally I have to push it to Thursday or a different day of the week, but almost always it's Wednesday. Vinyl Mike says, Bird of Prey, will there be universal health care under your rule? There will be something. Okay, people will have health care will they have to pay for it? Listen, somehow it's all being paid for, right? There's no such thing as free. The doctors don't work for free. So whether somebody's paying it out of their pocket or it's being taxed from them and they're paying it out of a tax, everybody's paying for health care one way or another. We'll figure it out, but yes, there'll be health care. Nobody should die because they can't afford health care for necessary procedures. Rock Solid says, Anti-Trigger, not exactly. Bird of Prey hates sick kids and animals. The Sci-Fi says, Bird of Prey, BBC America is going to start DS9 soon. They actually started DS9 already. I was watching BBC America a couple of weeks ago, and they had Emissary on. I was like, holy shit. They started with DS9. I was so happy. Because for those who don't know, BBC America is the only channel I know of that has shown in the past TOS. It often shows TNG and Voyager. And now we're going to get some DS9. And maybe one day we'll even get Enterprise. Anti-Trigger says, I stand corrected. Bird of Prey hates sick kids and abused animals. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey, we want policy, not platitudes. And oh yeah, hail Garoga. Hail Garoga. Even though I found out lately that Sci-Fi Nation is Northern Karogan. But he's still okay. Joseph says, is a sex change necessary medical procedure in Karoga, Bird of Prey? No, Joseph, because we will find the cure. We will find the cure. Darth Sweeney says, Bird of Prey, Garrick is awesome, nothing else matters. Well, other things matter, but yes, Garrick is awesome. Listen, Joseph, if a doctor deems it was actually medically necessary, then I suppose it would be covered. But I think I don't think it would be medically necessary if we put some work into curing things. Dear Bop, hey girl, this is Lorlita. Michael, Ann, and I miss you. So have you decided to change your drag name to Joyce? Wow. But my question is, which brand of panties feel the best? Love you, girl. Well, you see, I have no idea because I am not Joyce. I don't know who you're looking for. But you know what? If you want to wear women's underwear, that is your choice. And I'm not going to begrudge you. I'm not going to say you shouldn't. If a guy wants to wear women's underwear, doesn't matter to me. He can use whatever the hell underwear he wants. Not going to stop him. Not going to ask him about it. Just, go ahead. Do what you want. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. Carlos's Bird of Prey wants to make a clone army. I think I've heard this storyline before. Dear Bop, are you enjoying the 50 she-mails we sent you? I received no she-mails. And don't try to send them again. Dear Bop, should I get a squirrel or cat furry suit? DJ Odyssey. Oh, well, that's a good question, DJ. It depends, DJ. Now this is just what I've heard. But you have to feel, what is your fursona? DJ, when you close your eyes, do you picture yourself as a squirrel or as a cat? Or maybe something else. Maybe you picture yourself as a rabbit. Because I'll be honest, I know you already have the rabbit furry suit. We've seen it. It's also amazing how quickly you can change between your fursuits. On your last live stream, you were changing through them like within inconceivable amounts of time. Yeah. No, that video was different. He did this on a live stream a day or two ago. He changed through 4 or 5 different fursuits within 5 minutes. It was amazing. We were in awe. So, honestly, DJ, I think your persona is probably more rabbit than either squirrel or cat. But in either case, I can tell that your deepest down, because you see, your persona is really what you want to be. So like shy people, they want to be a wolf or a fox or something because they go out. They're predators. They go out and they get what they want. But in real life, they're shy and they're too timid to go out and do these things. So they choose a persona that makes them a predator. But you are choosing a persona that makes you prey, whether you're a squirrel or a cat. So I'm thinking you're saying deep down that you want to be chased. You want to be chased by a dog, right? Because what do dogs chase? Squirrels and cats. They're the top 2 things dogs chase. So you're telling me that you, DJ Odyssey, very, very slow, like very, just under your subconscious, you want to be chased by a big furry dog man or a dog furry, whatever. So, whatever you prefer, really, DJ. I would say if you really don't want the bunny outfit anymore, you'd probably be the squirrel. You'd probably be the squirrel type. They're both rodents. So go from rabbit to squirrel. You should be okay. No, we're not having Alexa order women's underwear, size 4X. Vile Mike says DJ should be a squirrel so he can cosplay as Squirrel Girl. That's probably true. A big dog man. Yeah, well, that's what he needs. That's what he needs to chase him around, a big dog man. Okay. Dear Bop. Oh, no, excuse me. Dear Birtle Prey 5, the Unforgettable. Now that's the way to start. Hail, O great and glorious ruler of Kuroga. Thank you for employing me to work in the Kuroga plutonium mine. Hey, there's no Kuroga plutonium mine. That's top secret. It is a great honor to be of service to you. The radiation is not too bad. My hair has fallen out and my skin is peeling off. But it's of little consequence, as I am a true devotee. However, I have one request, O Lord. Please, can you send a selection of she-males from your harem? I get very lonely down here on my own, and side effect of the radiation is making me horny. Especially during long, cold nights. Thank you for considering my request. Hail. Okay, well, here's the thing, and if you're deep down in the plutonium mine, you might not have heard, but I do not have any she-males in my harem. So, I cannot send you that which I do not possess. However, there might be a couple of extra young female congresswomen that I could spare. And you know what? They'd probably work pretty well in the plutonium mines. So yeah, don't worry about it. We will make a personnel transfer, and you will have at least one congresswoman joining you in the plutonium mines, who will keep you warm at night. So get ready. Whoever you are, my devoted fan, ask and you shall receive. But this will be a real woman, not a she-male, so be sure to treat as such. Okay. Dear Bop, I'm a representative of the victorious Islamic Republic of Iran. As we prepare to destroy America and Israel, we obviously need help with our military strategy. After seeing the weak Rogan army fall as the weak American and Israeli army shall fail, who can we contact in Kurdistan for the services of their great military commander? Love from your friends in the victorious Islamic Republic of Iran. We see, so Iran is under the mistaken impression that Kurdistan has been successful at anything. I think the best thing we could do for Iran is actually put them in touch with Anti-Tracker. So, yes, here you go to the Islamic Republic of Iran. You should contact Anti-Tracker. You can do so at antitracker.com. Sign up for a free membership. And you can message him directly on antitracker.com. Or if you go to antitracker.com, there'll be a link for his Discord. Join his Discord and you can message him on Discord. Either way, he will get your comment eventually. And he will teach you the great ways of the Kurdistani army that I'm sure will bring you victory over your enemies. Qapla. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio, Bird of Prey Chat. I'm a little late. Oh, Mike Richards, that's funny because there was a few people from Columbus, Ohio who were curious about things, and I've already answered their questions. I thought maybe you might have known them. Mao, Joseph, we don't know that they were his questions. We just know that they were from Columbus, Ohio. This is going to be a long Dear Bop tonight. Dear Bop, hello, my name is Jack. I heard you're an expert on gay sex. I'm not. My question is, both me and my boyfriend have only had sex with each other. We love each other very much. Is it okay not to use protection? Love, Jack. Jack, it depends. If you're okay with dying, then you don't need to use protection. I don't know how much more plain about it I can be. You guys can both get tested for a full panel of STDs from, gonorrhea right on through HIV. And if you both come back negative and you've still not slept with anyone else, which I would find suspicious, but if that's really true, and then you didn't want to use protection, you would still probably get cooties, from what I understand. So, like I said, I'm not an expert at gay sex, although I understand Anti-Tracker is spreading that lie. So I would say get yourselves tested, and only then make an informed decision. And please don't write back with any details. I'm not interested. Dear Bop, where the hell is the Bird of Prey Quotes 2 video? Thomas poops. Oh, I do have to get to that. It's been busy. It's on the list. Don't worry. Abadam says, I don't know anything about gay sex, but here's how to do gay sex. Perfect. Well, I mean, obviously I know what I was taught in school. Dear Bop, read Dear Bop, you son of a bitch. Okay, well, I'm reading Dear Bop, so wish fulfilled. Dear Bop, thank you in advance. I was wondering why I always tell everyone my knee hurts when really I don't want to go back to work. I just want to live off donations, Patreon, unemployment, and disability. I have stretched this thing out for much now. I don't feel guilty about it, but I don't want to admit this to my followers because I want them to keep giving me their money. Where should I go from here? AT, which I assume means Anonymous Trekker. Since Anonymous Trekker has asked for a lot of help in the past. Anonymous Trekker, let's just say that everyone realizes, what's going on here. It's not a secret to anyone. We've already figured this out for ourselves. And since we keep giving you money anyway, we're probably going to keep doing it. You could come clean. I mean, don't come clean too much because, insurance companies might be listening. But the next time you live stream, as a signal to us and just us that we understand and that's what you're doing, you should probably, give us a sign, right? Like, if you start your stream with like a parody from The Witcher, that would be a sign to all of us that you know, that we know, that you know, that we know, that you're not really having any trouble with your knees and you just want to live off of donations and disability. So we'll all be on the same page. Abadam says, describes his butt in painstaking detail, not gay. Well, I'm not. I'm just trying to, that was for a hot chick. Like, you wouldn't describe your butt to a hot chick? Well, it doesn't matter if she's blind. The point, listen, I didn't care about her blindness. I just cared about that she was a hot chick. I mean, blind helps, but it's not required. Dear Bop, recently my employer has made some changes to my job that is making it much harder to work. He's also placed additional responsibilities on me, but with a token increase in pay hours, but not enough to make it seem worth the aggravation. Should I start looking for another job? Signed, Anonymous. 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 I gotcha. Much harder to work, additional responsibilities on me, but a token increase in pay. No, you should, here's what you should do. You should start looking for another job. Don't quit your first job till you've lined up another one. And then, if you've lined up the second one, if you want, give your current job the option of meeting your demands, and you should have aggressive demands for new pay. And if they don't meet it, go to the new job. That's what you should do. You should totally do that. This is the exact type of thing that gets people motivated to change careers, change jobs. Don't let them take advantage of you. If you feel they're taking advantage of you now, it's only going to be worse 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. Nobody ever feels better. Once they get that feeling, it never goes away. So the only way it's ever going to go away is if they pay you something that you think is a fair wage, or you go to another company. So that's basically the ball's in your court. Anonymous. It's not envious position, but it could be. I don't know, but Mama Pray says if you would be taking coworkers with you when you left, that would be even more fun, since their company would have more problems. Do you want to do your Mama Pray tale yet, or? Okay. So we're gonna take a short break from Dear Bop for Mama Pray tale. So their camera's not on. You can come over. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put these in archive. And we're gonna switch to this screen. It's okay. The camera's not on. Yes. Mama Pray tale. I have no idea.
No, he doesn't have any idea what I'm going to say. Hi, guys. I hope Kronos is still here since he asked for one. But I'm going back to 2001. It had been a pretty rough year for the O'Prey family. Not Bird. Bird was already out on his own, working. Okay. Anyway, but Dad O'Prey had gotten hurt at work. He was his back was out for over a year. But he was recuperating and getting better. Unfortunately, the, what do you call that?
Workman's comp?
Yes, right. Unfortunately, the case he had going with Workman's Comp didn't pan out. And in the meantime, I thought it was a good idea to open my own business. Okay, not going into details about that. It was not a good idea. I opened a store, and on September 10th was actually the last day I opened the store. I just knew at that point I was just losing more money than I had. And of course, the next morning, September 11th, was the World Trade Center, which I did not have anybody I personally knew there. Just the whole tragedy and what was going on made me more depressed. But as usual, to my rescue came Bird. My birthday was in December, and for my birthday, he knew I always wanted to spend Christmas under a palm tree. I wanted to be in warm weather. And that year he sent me to visit my sister and other friends and relatives in Florida. And I went down without a date to come back. And I loved it there. I had the best Christmas outside of missing my kids. With my Florida family, which is, how do you say, more numerous than my New York family. In New York, I have Bert O'Prey, Sister O'Prey.
I was not stealing from the cash register, Thomas.
No. He had been working already for a year, and I pretty much understand he got a quite nice Christmas bonus that year. Anyway, he sent me to Florida, and I was so happy, but I did not have a return date. I drove there so I could have my car and go around and visit, and I did. I saw my sister when I got there, and then my stepbrother, he called me right back the same day, and he said, listen, we're going out tonight. It was a Friday, I think. We're going to some place, and it does karaoke. I'd love you to come. And I went. And I met a whole group of people that were his friends and co-workers, him and his wife. And I really had a good time. But the point is, this was December. And I stayed through Christmas, through New Year's, through January, through February. I actually got a job on a casino ship. I had no intention, but it just really was something that was so against my normal personality. No, I was not a, what do you call that? Waitress. I worked in the, behind the cage, counting money, cashing in chips for the winners, and it was just a fun job. And I wound up staying in Florida from December till the following October. Most of this time, I mean, what I made at the job didn't do a lot. But Bird was behind me all the way. And that, what was it, 10 months in Florida, has really helped me in the last 10 years. I mean, it was just a fun time in my life. I had fun time, when the kids were small and before the kids with Dad'll Pray. But that was like my midlife crisis, I guess. And it gave me, I don't know, how do you put it, a foundation, a better foundation for living an indoor life now. But again, Bird was there for me all the time. I guess it was that, or I could have seen a therapist for a year and a half, but that was my therapy. And again, I'm thankful for Bird.
Oh,
and for you guys being here. Now I'm going back to cooking, so you got a Mama Pray story.
yes. And Frona says we need to hear more tales from the casino. Oh, right.
Oh.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can think of a few good ones. Especially the one in the storm. Because it was a ship.
Yeah, it was a casino ship. They'd have to go out to the international line to actually open the casino.
Bye, guys.
There you go. Mama Pray story for today. Okay, guys. So I'm guessing, am I right? You guys want me to go back to Dear Bop? Or should we talk about some stuff and then end the stream, or just go back to Dear Bop? Crow says, thank you, Mama Pray. I know only one tale per live stream. Well, it doesn't always have to be one tale, but she is cooking, so she's in the middle of cooking, so it's one tale today. What the hell are you talking about, Aberjam? Fine. We're going back to Dear Bop. Okay. So, back to Dear Bop. We have more now than when we started. Dear Bop. Why isn't this window coming to the forefront? This is going to be a pain. There we go. Dear Bop, did you hear they are making new Beagle Bites? They are Frank and Freddy chicken flavor. That is not a request for anything. So I'm actually just deleting that one. Dear Bop, since you're talking about some code and such, I've heard that you worked on the LGBTQ website. Some of your code was found in the source file. Can you please explain what this code means? C:, enter, pound. It looks like code for what Freddy did to Frank. C:, enter, pound. See, that's exactly what I wrote. That's exactly what I said. Not Rock Solid Productions. Not Rock Solid. That is not actually computer code. It would seem like you just saw some text on a command prompt. Doesn't count as code, but good try. Good try. And no, I did not work on the LGBTQ website. I did work on the NFL website. That was interesting. So that was pretty cool. Dear fearless leader, thank you for negotiating my freedom. They told me lies that you abandoned me. I kept telling them that you would never forget your faithful people. I never believed it. Now I'm free and back to serve Kuroga, your faithful servant. Welcome home, anonymous servant. There shall be clean towels in your rooms tonight. Dear Bop, if we donate enough, would you please shut the hell up? Dr. McCoy, I'd pay real money if he'd shut the hell up. Kurdistan Puritan. Yes, if you donate to me $20 right now, I will stop Dear Bop and we'll pick it up some other time. We can make that happen. Darth Sweeney says, Bird of Prey, codes look like the X++. Code looks like XE++. I've never seen that coding language, Darth Sweeney, so there you go. You got it. You got more on me. Dear Bop, I have it from Control that the new kitty cups are on sale with a concert from everybody's favorite LGBTQ double act, the husbands Frank and Freddie in the Love Club. I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about. I have it from Control that the new kitty cups are on sale with a concert. None of this makes sense, people. What? Mickey Mouse? No, the mouse thing was like 10 things ago. No, we're not with the mouse. Here are the details. Dear Bop, I was at a large city public build. I was a bit surprised when I realized what used to be the men's and women's bathrooms were now all gender bathrooms. Not the biggest deal to me, but it threw me off a bit. When a bunch of girls were talking near the sinks, the men were using the urinals right by them. Also, I'm concerned about creepy men going into the women's bathroom. Is this just the future, or do I have good reasons to be concerned? Thanks, Bop. Not a gender person. Not a non-gender person. Well, if they were all gender bathrooms, then there is no women's room. And if the ladies were using a sink near the urinals, when presumably there were sinks not near urinals, I would say that the ladies chose to be near the urinals, so I wouldn't worry about them. Honestly, none of this was a problem years ago, okay? If you can pass as a woman, then by all means use the women's restroom. And if you look like a dude, then use the dude's restroom. And if you don't look like either, then use whichever restroom you want. I really don't give a shit. But if I see you looking at me, I mean, let's be honest. Restrooms, if you're using the urinal, if you're a guy and you're looking over at the other guys, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get a punch to the face, if not a knee to the crotch, or both, which you should, because it's privacy. You don't need, men can use urinals and without looking at each other's ding-dongs. Okay, it's easy enough to do. And if you're looking at somebody's ding-dong at a urinal, you're either going to get hit, or they're going to say something to make you feel like an idiot, or they're going to make you say something that's going to make you feel even very uncomfortable. Either way, you're not going to like what comes next. So, yeah. The only reason that anybody really needs to be worried is if a kid goes into a bathroom alone and they're like, oh, there's a man that's pretending to be a woman and he's looking at a little girl through through the slit in, I guess, a slit in the stall. And, well, yes, that if somebody was doing that, then they should be, have to answer for it. Now, kids shouldn't be using the public bathrooms alone, right? You don't send a 6-year-old to a public bathroom alone. You shouldn't be doing that, right? A 6-year-old isn't somewhere where they can be using the public bathroom alone. So if you're the guardian or parent of a 6-year-old, go with them into the bathroom. Make sure there's not a guy looking through the stall next to them or something. Okay? Do your job as a parent. And period. Done. It's not a problem. You don't have to worry about it. What? Yes, Mama Bray. Say something.
When a father is out with the door.
Okay. Okay, so Mama Bray is saying that when a dad is out with her daughter, or I suppose when a mom is out with her son, if you're a single parent and you have a kid of the other gender, and it's weird, I've seen grown adult men take their young daughters into men's rooms into a stall. It's happened. Nobody complains. Nobody runs out and says, "Oh my God, there's a 3-year-old girl using the men's room stall." Nobody gives a shit. It's still awkward. It's going to be awkward whether it's all gender or not. Okay? It's going to be awkward regardless of the little plastic thing that's on the door of the bathroom. Whether it has a skirt or pants or half of skirt, it doesn't matter. It's going to be awkward anytime a little kid is using a public restroom. Especially if they're with a person of the opposite gender. It's not an issue. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Miles. It's not an issue. People want to make it an issue. Fine. But, seriously. When does this happen? Don't send your kid to the bathroom alone. That's the thing. Okay? If your kid is young enough that you're worried about what would happen to them, go with them to the bathroom. It's not that difficult. Or we could have outside bathrooms, those black bags that we put over like Guantanamo Bay prisoners. So that if you have a kid of the opposite gender, you could just put the bag over their head and walk them, you tie it so everybody knows they can't see. And then you walk them into the bathroom and you put them in the stall, and only then do you take the bag off their head. Then you put the bag back on. As you take them out of the stall, you have them wash their hands and leave the bathroom, and then there's like a special recycling barrel to throw in the used head coverings. So you see, problem solved. Problem solved. Thomas Potts is off to work. See you all later. Take care, Thomas. Sci-Fi says Bird needs to sit in the corner. Richie Pools says Dear Bop. Yes, we're still doing more Dear Bop. So this is Surf Trektronics. Says Dear Bop, Bat of Prey is my favorite Kling Orc ship in all Trek history. I want to see Worf Orc flying a Bat o' Prey with both of his privates in Star Trek Picard. Sincerely, Dune Buggy. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I don't think Worf is going to be in Star Trek Picard. If he is, there's no way in hell he's going to look like. If Michael Dorn degrades himself to putting on Kling Orc makeup, he will forever fall from such a high point. I have so much respect for Michael Dorn that he would immediately, he would fall down to like the level of terror. I don't even want to say how bad, because I'd be called terrible names. But he would lose all respect I have for him if he ever appeared in Star Trek Picard in Klingork makeup. It just cannot happen. I refuse to live in such a reality. I refuse to even acknowledge such a possibility. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Dear Bop, I'm a new YouTube content creator. I just started. How did you get so many subscribers? I want to be famous like you. Thanks, new guy. Well, if you go to Anti-Trekker and you make him a website, he'll probably toss your name out quite a bit. That'll help. Then you've got to wait for a very, 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 very uber popular TV show to end. Like a TV show that comes around once in 20 years. And then you have to live stream not before and not after, but during the second to final and final episodes of the show, while simultaneously, right in between those two episodes, the final episode of yet another epic TV series also comes to an end. So within 8 days, you get 3 live streams where you had 1,000 and 1,500 and then over 2,000 people live chatting at once, even though you only had 150 to 200 subscribers when you started all this. Then you just try not to screw anything up for a month, and you just wait and watch as those subscriptions come on in, because YouTube, literally, you have 40, 50,000 views on these videos, and I guess people accidentally hit subscribe. But it's enough to get you over the hump. After that, it's all about your personality and putting out decent quality videos. In my experience, live streams keep subscribers happy, but produced videos bring in the new subscribers. So you got to balance. You want to do live streams to keep your viewers engaged, but you want to put out produced videos of like 10 to 20 minutes a piece to bring in the new subscribers. That's really the ticket. Huh? Oh, and sing, yes. And sing, and if possible, have your mom or someone else in your life who has more experience than you come on from time to time and tell stories about you as a kid, or them as a kid, or anybody as a kid. Dear Bop, I'm really getting sick of the Frank and Freddie shit. Can you please tell everyone to stop? Freddie would never date an ugly old man like Frank. Thanks a lot, a Queen fan. You know what? I am getting sick of it too. But you're right. Frank would never date a man like Freddie. So, regardless, or any man. Right. Okay, so it's all bullshit. Please stop. However, if you say that too much, you're feeding the trolls. So the best way to get it to stop is to kind of just ignore it, unfortunately. Dear Bop, why do people actually ask you for advice? Your certificate is worth less than AOC's degree. If people want some rock solid advice, they should email dearrrx@gmail.com. Okay, well, people, if you want some rock solid advice, email this email address. I will put it in the chat. And in fact, clearly there's a lot of Dear Bops going on here. So email them and dearrrxp@gmail.com. Apparently, they can give you better advice. I'm not even going to argue with you. Although I don't think that they are Kuroga certified life experts. Dear Bop, is this Dear Bop? Please don't read this. Are you reading this? I think you are. I asked you not to. Nope, didn't read it. Dear Bop, Greg here, the Mexican cutie. Yummy. We are trying to teach Alejandro how to swallow our lightsabers. He does not particularly like it. Do you think if we smear some honey or chocolate on it, it will help? Yes. Yeah, it probably would. You should go for it. Dear Bop, I seem to recall you saying that one time you were interested in motorcycles. So I want to know is how bike curious are you? Just a little bike curious or super bike curious? You son of a bitch. Bike curious. I see what you're doing. H. Davison. I never said I was bike curious, nor am I bi-curious. Okay, unless the bi is a woman, then I'm curious to see that. But that's it. Okay, space lesbians is the extent of my bi-curiousness. And I don't particularly care for motorcycles. Not that I hate them, but I've never driven one. I doubt I will at this point. Dear Bop, I am an orphan. I was told you were adopting. Where can I find you? Well, you can go apply at the mines, which is 123 Mine Street, Kuroga. Just go to the foreman. Say, give him your name. There's a very minor form you have to fill out. Basically, a release. God forbid something happens in the mine. You acknowledge that you've been warned, that it's probably a one-way trip, and you can start working immediately. And with work comes, of course, free food or housing. You get to pick. Whichever you prefer, food or housing, not both. But we'll take good care of you in the mines. If you want both, you can do double mine duty. But as each mine shift is 13 hours a day, it's hard. Dear Bop, is it true that Turtistani ruler is what? Wait. Is it true that the Turtistani ruler is what Jewish people call a funzuni? A funzuni is someone who farts in a bathtub and bites at the bubbles. Ms. Cortez. I have never heard that term, and I can neither confirm nor deny if that's what is true. However, the bubbles for Anti-Trekker's bubble bath were not generated by his farts. They were generated by Mrs. Anti-Trekker with a long straw. So, and I would say for all Anti-Trekker's failings, I'm sure he does not pass gas in front of Mrs. Anti-Trekker. At least I would doubt it. Dear Bop, quit rambling, get on with the Dear Bop. See, you only slowed me down. Dear Bop, why do women in men's underwear look sexy, but guys in thongs look weird? Well, because we see a woman in men's underwear, we're like, that man probably had her naked, so she put on his underwear. And like it's kind of like a conquest thing. But if you see a dude in women's underwear, first, you don't want to see a dude unless you're gay. And even if you are gay, you probably still don't want to see a dude in women's underwear because you're gay. And women's underwear doesn't do anything for you. So it's lose-lose. So there's honestly zero. Nobody gets turned on by guys in thongs except weird women, which is fine. But I'm not here to speak for the weird women. So Carlos says, bird of prey, if you hold your fart, just don't you spontaneously combust. No, that's false. It's only combust if you've eaten something combustible in the 24 hours before, which you should try not to do if you're going to have reason to hold in your farts. Okay, we're coming to the end. Dear Bop, what is the difference between a she-male and a futa? Signed, confused chick with a dick. I have no idea what a futa is, but so I'm sorry. And I could Google it, but I'm not going to. But if you're a chick with a dick, you're a dude. You're a dude. It's fine. You can call yourself whatever you want. But Kuroga, you're a dude. We have nothing against dudes who want to look like women. But on the Kurogan census, you're a dude. Dear Bop, toss a coin to your tracker. It's the least he deserves. You know, I tried to, but YouTube and Patreon and Streamlabs all rejected my 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, and even 25-cent donation attempts. They want at least $1. So I can't toss a coin to them. I'm sorry. If I ever see him in person, I'll hit him with a penny or two. But that's about all I can promise. I'm not going to Google it when I end the stream. I honestly don't care. Dear Bop, it took you this long to get to this email unsubbing. Tired of the stalling. Okay. Well. Dear Bop, you bastard, we took your advice on how to cheat, and now our manager and general manager are suspended. We lost draft picks and was fined $5 million for cheating in baseball. We knew it was a mistake after you got caught for helping the Patriots. Never help us again. Houston Astros. Hey, I don't ever recall helping the Houston Astros. So I don't know what you're talking about, but that wasn't me. I think you got your advice from Ann Landers or something. Very close in name, so it's a mistake anybody could make. Dear Bop, do you have any experience with large credit card debt? I have about $30,000 spread over 3 credit cards. I don't think I can pay it off. I honestly feel like my only option is to stop paying until they call me and maybe offer to settle. Hopefully for a lot less. Have you ever done this? Thanks. Really bummed out. Yes and no. Yes, I have had large credit card debts. When I came out of college, my credit card, which I had gotten when I was 16, because they sent I probably should have used the card, and then I could have gotten out of it because I wasn't 18. But I got an offer for a credit card when I was like 16. In fact, it was an American Express card, and they didn't ask my age and they didn't ask my income. They asked household income. So I gave them the combined income of both my parents. And oh no, it wasn't American Express. It was Visa. Excuse me. No, I didn't get American Express until I started working. It was First USA Bank Visa card. Anyway, so I thought I was the coolest kid. I had a credit card in my own name when I was 16. Unfortunately, by the time I got out of college, I had the credit card maxed out, and it had a pretty high limit. It was like $12,000 or $15,000, and I had like $200 left, because I was using it at the end to charge my books and charge the expenses I needed, gas to go back and forth. I had some scholarships, but they only paid about half of my college tuition. So I graduated college in a ton of debt. And I would listen to, what's-his-face, Ramsey on the radio about how you pay down debt. And most people say you pay down the highest interest first, which makes sense, but Andrew Ramsey, he actually says, within reason, I believe, if you have two things that are close, pay off the smaller one first, because then you get a sense of accomplishment. And I have to agree. Unless you had something that's incredibly, if you had something that's 5% interest and something that's 25% interest, then you got to pay down the 25% interest first. But if you got something that's 22% interest that you owe $1,000 and something that's 24% interest that you owe $5,000, pay off the $1,000 one first, because you're going to feel so much better that you have one less check to write each month. Now, if this is all just one single credit card, it's over 3 credit cards. Okay, so yeah. Try not to stop paying. If possible, make the minimum payments on the 2, but put all your extra money into knocking out the lowest one, whichever one has the lowest balance. Put all the extra money to knocking that one out first, making at most the minimum payment, at best, at worst. Well, making just the minimum payments on the other 2. Then once you get that one knocked out, then you go to the next one. Although at that point, if you have only 2, you should be able to say I'd put a little extra to the second biggest or to the biggest, because just the minimum is pretty rough. You'll always be paying if you pay just the minimum. So put a little bit extra to number 2 and a lot more extra to the second smallest card. And, you go like that. To be honest, if you stop paying, they might not offer you a settlement. It could be months, years before you get a settlement. Interest would pile up. Reality is they just don't call to settle. You're gonna be fighting it for years. And that means you're going to have years with bad and worsening credit. And you're not going to be able to get another credit card if you stop paying the others. It's just going to get worse. So if at all possible, if you have the money to make the minimum payments, keep making them. And if you use your extra to pay down the lowest balance card first, and then once you get that first one down, you have a little breathing room. And then you can use it to pay down the second biggest, and then finally the biggest, in that order. And I know it's tough. And hey, I was only able to do it because I got a very good job that became an excellent job out of college. I know it is tough. If you honestly have no hope of paying it off, you need to consider something. Now, I don't know. It varies by geography, and obviously if you're in the States or if you're in a different country, it can be very different. But whether it's bankruptcy or debt consolidation, there are counselors or credit counselors out there that you could talk to that can tell you more about what your options are. But the reality is, credit cards don't call and say, oh, just pay me half. That doesn't happen until you've already been charged, 4 times as much in fees instead of, if you honestly owe your credit card $15,000 because you charged $14,000 in stuff over the years and you've got $1,000 in interest built up, they're not going to say, oh, give me $7,000 or $8,000 and we'll call it a day. At best, they're going to say, we'll take the $14,000 and not the interest. But they're not going to say that until the interest is built up way, way beyond what it's worth. So it sucks. I know it does. Do your best. If you can, get a second job. Whatever you got to do, start paying it down. It is an incredible feeling of relief. If you get to the point that you can pay off those debts, it is its own reward. It is its own reward. I can tell you that. You feel such a burden lifting when you make that final payment on a credit card, on a car loan, on a student loan, whatever it is such a burden being lifted. So really try. If you really can't do it, then you're going to need to talk to somebody professional in the field. Because it is pretty serious. So I do hope you really bummed out. I hope you do find some help. And like I said, it's really going to depend on if you can honestly pay it back or not. If you can, don't stop paying. Keep paying. I hope that helps. Dear Bop, what's the best way to tuck it? Asking for a friend. Mama Pray says she's going outside. Well, I don't know what it is, but if it is, let's see, what's the most common thing that people tuck? Like you're tucking a kid in at night? Then the best way is to, I don't know, evenly and not too hard because you don't want to strangle the kid. What's the next most common thing people tuck? Tuck it in. What do people say tuck it in? I don't know, a handkerchief? I don't know what you're talking about, this tucking. I think you might have a problem. Maybe you misheard your friend. Maybe your friend didn't ask, how do you tuck it? He said, how do you F it? In which case it depends what he's talking about. Because he's asking, how do you F, a person, or how do you F up a car, or how do you F up something? It really depends. I think you got to talk to your friend and get more info. Tuck and roll when you're parachuting. Sci-Fi Ninja says, I don't know what it is, but I don't know about tucking. That's not what I said. That is not a valid quote. Dear Bop, I thought I would explain more, and right now I'm working on the same amount of work as the other 2 people in my team, and only get paid about 7% more than them. My team is supposed to be 5 people, not 3. Basically, I'm working the same as 2.5 people by myself. A Nani Mouse. Okay. So I'm working the same amount of work as the other 2 people on my team. I'm working about the same amount. I'm working the same amount of work as the other 2 people in my team and only getting paid 7% more. Well, that reads to me that 3 of you are all doing an equal amount of work and you're getting paid 7% more than the other two, which means you're the highest person paid on the team. But your team is supposed to be 5 people, not 3. So the equal work is split up amongst all of those 3 people. So that would be 1 1/3 time, 1.3x as much work. Because 1.33 plus 1.33 plus 1.33 equals 2. So you're doing not quite double the work. You're doing about, is it double the work? No, it's really not double the work. You're doing math is failing me here. Okay, if there's 5x, and so x is supposed to be 1, but now you've got 3x, and carry the y, divide by pi. Yes, so you need to be looking for another job, Anani Mouse. You need to be looking for another job. You should. The problem is, if you don't have another job lined up, then you give your job an ultimatum, then you have to be prepared to walk if they don't meet your answer. And yes, you should be giving your job an ultimatum. You should say, if you didn't need the money, let's say you're independently wealthy and you don't need to work. Okay, Sassy is also getting upset at this, but you're independently wealthy and you didn't need to work. I'd say right now, today or tomorrow, the next business day, you march into your boss's office and say, this is bullshit. I want a X amount a month raise. Whatever it is, whatever you feel is fair. Or, you don't want a raise, you want 10 more days off a year, or whatever it is, whatever your demand. You say, I want this, or I walk. You have 7 days, or whatever, a day. However much time is reasonable that they have to make the decision. But if they say, we can't do it, then you have to be able to walk, okay? There's no guarantee they're going to meet your demand. That's why you need to have something else lined up. But yes, you absolutely should be demanding more money. If they've increased your workload by almost double, if not more than double, yeah, you should be getting paid more. That would only make sense, and that's what would be fair. But life is not fair, and you only want to make threats what you can back up. So if you can't back it up, what's worse right now than being underpaid is to be underpaid after you threaten to leave and then you don't leave. And then the company knows you've got nowhere else to go. Because that's even a worse position to be in. So really start looking for somewhere else. And hell, you might just want to leave anyway and say, fuck you to the company. I know a guy who is in that position right now. He is in his final interviews with another company because his company had been screwing him over for a long time. They kept firing people, giving him more and more work. And then they decided that even though they have no idea how IT works, and he's literally the last person who knows IT in his company, that they were going to do a major switch over to a new system that would require him working around the clock for a week, probably, to switch over, that they have literally no idea what they're trying to do. And they budgeted 1 day to make this change. And he told them no way, he needs a week. and he was trying to get it over a long weekend, but with help. And the latest they came back to him was with, no, we've decided to do it like April 1st or something, or April 2nd, whatever. Someday in April, it was a Monday. Then they wanted it up and running by Tuesday. So he, many months ago, when he realized that this was happening, he had started the process, and he's now in final talks with the second company, and they are ready to change over this giant system, and they already have it scheduled against his advice for switching over in April or March, wherever it was, but not very soon. And any day now, he's going to be able to walk into them and give them the big middle finger. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I'm out of here. And the shit's going to hit the fan because they're going to realize they have no one now to do anything that they expected to do. And it's all because they did not listen to him months ago when he warned them that this was not what they wanted, just simply wasn't possible. So I will get to watch some of the fun as that happens because we've been hearing about it for quite a long time. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing that play out. But for you, Anonymous, the whole thing is you've got to be able to back up your threat. If you can get money, if you're worth what you want and you can find someone else willing to pay you what you believe you're worth, you should absolutely do it. But if you can't, for whatever reason, find a job that's paying as well as the job you have, maybe don't go running off right away. I don't know. I'm just saying, a lot of people think they're worth a lot more than they get. And I would like to believe a lot of people are worth a lot more than they get. But in our economy, the market really determines the wages. And if for whatever reason, wherever you are in the country or the world, that the market has determined that you are making the most somebody of your skills or your titles going to make, as annoying as that is to you, that is the reality. So don't jump off, don't quit before you have another job. You do that and you're going to be, yes, you could. A lot of people quit and they find a new job in a few weeks and they're happy and everything goes fine. But I've seen it in person where somebody quits and 6 months goes by, a year goes by, and now not only have they quit, have they screwed themselves, are they out of all their money, have they lost all their savings, but now every time they get a job or a job interview, they have to try to explain away why they haven't been working for the last year. And now that becomes a giant liability on your resume because you have not been gainfully employed. That makes it far harder to get employed. So it is a dangerous rut to fall into. So avoid it at all costs. If you're still working, as hard as it is, keep looking for jobs while you have a job. Once you get the offer letter for that other job, that's when you let it all ring out. You tell these people that it's over unless they, double your salary. Something outrageous. Let them feel it. And if they don't do it, goodbye. It's better for everyone. Sci-Fi Nation says, I gotta run, bird of prey. Great stream as always, bud. I'll see you later on Anti-Tracker's stream. Take care, Sci-Fi Nation. And that does bring it to a close. One more Dear Bop. Dear Bop, I am the owner of a successful Korean fast food restaurant. My supplier will not give me the special product I need. How can I get it with as little blood as possible? FYI, I know where you live, so I can get the correct answer. Signed, B Bites. Yeah, no. Yes, that has upset Sassy. Sassy is now looking at you through the computer, and she is not happy. She is demanding I ban you. I ban you from Dear Bop. Sassy, I can't ban them from Dear Bop, baby. But we'll move on to something else. So that was quite a long Dear Bop. But before we go, there are some new photos. I thought we saw the last of them yesterday, but we've got some new cast portraits from Star Trek Picard. We got this picture of old man Picard standing in front of, I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be a warp core or something these days. We got the cute girl standing, I don't know, next to some barrel of something. We got the annoying woman, Rafia Musiker, looking pissed. She looks like she should be playing a cat. Just look, she's got a cat face. And we've got wannabe Ethan Peck, the captain with the beard. In I don't know what the hell he's wearing and why he's there, but there's his shitty captain's chair, the shittiest captain's chair of all of Trek. I don't know. I'm hearing that Picard isn't even in the show all that much, so I'm thinking that at the end of the series, this chick, the chick who is the key to everything, they're like, Counselor Troy is going to ask you, hey, what's your name? And she's going to be, my name, I don't know what her name is, like Chia or something. My name's Chia. And Troy's going to be like, Chia what? She's going to look over at Picard's vineyard. Chia Picard. That's how season 1 is going to end. They're going to come back and bury Picard on his vineyard, and she's going to take over his name because it worked so well in Star Wars. They're going to do it too. This is Chia Picard, and that is why it's Star Trek Picard. Mark my words. And we got 7 of 9. Alexander, if you're here, 7 of 9. Again, nothing dressed. I mean, these people are dressed. Nothing futuristic about this. We want uniforms, people. We want to see things. We want to see uniforms. We want to see Starfleet shit. This is Firefly, if that. We got the Vulcan elf, Romulan elf with the sword on his back. Everybody's posing in front of the warp core, I guess, today. I don't know. And a couple more. We got you. There's you, the future Borg, or the past Borg. And we got the captain guy again. And this looks like, I'm guessing this is the inside of the Borg cube. Because if you see these shapes, they're all squares. Even though that was never the interior of a Borg cube before, I'm guessing this is our new Borg cube interior. And Piano Dean says, oh, she is still so gorgeous. Yeah. 7 of 9. She has aged well. Jerry Ryan. No complaints there. I don't say that much. But, not that any of these women are particularly unattractive. Well, except Musiker. But, yeah. 7 of 9. Jerry Ryan costs too much, so she's not going to be in the show much. These are the characters we've never seen before. Her, and him are going to make up the majority of the show. Oh, and also her. Oh, and also elf guy. Him. That's going to be the main cast. You isn't even going to be main cast. He's probably still too expensive. And then, and I know everybody knows this already, but Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton, is going to be hosting the Picard after show called The Ready Room, which means we're going to have to watch Wesley Crusher talk about the previous episode of Picard. Son of a bitch. As if watching Picard itself wasn't going to be bad enough. Yes, Wesley, you're doing the after show. Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton, the host, the Star Trek Picard after show, The Ready Room. He wasn't even good enough to make it into the season. They didn't put him in the show. But you know what? Like, oh, let's get him to host a show after the show. Who the hell was saying? Only Anti-Tracker. Anti-Tracker was the only person I know saying, bring back Will Wheaton. The only person I know saying, bring back Will Wheaton. We want Will Wheaton. Well, now you got him, Anti-Tracker. I hope you watch every episode of The Ready Room. Grid, more chances to tell Wesley to shut up. Yeah. Wesley Crusher says, I will make sure I drink a lot before recording. It's just, why? What? The only thing that's made Will Wheaton relevant was Big Bang Theory. And then he quit Twitter because he was too cool for Twitter. And that's Will Wheaton's only accomplishment in life. Which isn't much of an accomplishment. Oh, okay. We've also got, and I said I was going to bring it up, if you're playing nation states still, the Republic of the Gungan Soviet Socialist Republic of Democratic Socialists. This is the newest nation state created by our very own Alexander the Communist, a Muslim Asian wife born in the USSR, being married in Cuba is the best choice. Alexander has entered the game of nation states and has created the Gungan Soviet Socialist Republic. They have very good civil rights, below average political freedoms, which was actually pretty high when he first created it yesterday. And their economy is listed as basket case, which is bad. Very, very bad. Which I'm not surprised for the Soviet Socialist Republic of Democratic Socialists. If you want to read through their details, I'll put it in the chat. Will Wheaton, did I say it that way? Will Wheaton? Anyway, guys, I think that's about it for tonight. The Mama Praise food has been done for a while. The smell is getting to me, getting me hungry. Surf Trictronics is Bird of Prey. Did you just say did digital editing to fill in any work history? Oh, just say you did digital editing to fill in any work history on your, if you have to fill in history on your resume. Josh Reed says one more bird rant. Well, you kind of got a bird rant. You kind of got one. Okay. That looks about it. I might have missed a few chats. I'm sorry if I did. But we're going to call it an evening here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Wesley says, when is Anti-Tracker going on? Really, could be any minute. Holy shit, 7:51. This was a long one tonight. Could be any minute. Aberjam says, McClunky, Aberjam. Richie Poole says, live long and prosper. John DeMarco, catch you all later. Hasta la vista, Paracos from Hector. Farewell from Columbus, Ohio from Mike Richards. And Qapla from Kronos and me. Qapla, guys. Take care. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BertoPray5 or on BertoPray5.com. Take care.